We're going to start our practice with a restorative piece called the Mountain Brook. And you would have seen this in the detox phase of your Ayurveda yoga home detox. And we're going to incorporate it in the series in the Post-Detox. So to begin with, what we want to do is we want to set ourselves up, and if you have a bolster, that is great. If not, you certainly can pile a couple of pillows together. But what you're going to want to do is take a block or something hard to prop your bolster up on. And then we're going to need a blanket, and we're going to use that. We're going to roll that up, and we're going to put that underneath our knees. So what you want to do is make sure that your lower back is tucked up, right up against the bolster or the pillows that you may have. And we want to take that rolled blanket and make sure that it's totally underneath the knees here. And then go ahead and lay back. Adjusting your blanket if need be. And bring your arms out. Take the time to take the shoulders and walk those shoulder blades down the spine towards, bringing the shoulders down towards the hips. We don't want the shoulders up to the ears here. And then go ahead and close your eyes. And just allow yourself to just relax into the pose. Feel free to invoke the Ujjayi breath here if you would like, or just bringing your breath to its natural rhythm, focusing on the breath as it moves in and out of the body. Bring a smile to your lips. Bringing in the inner knowing that you've got this. Together we've done this. We're now going to nourish the body with the post-detox recipes, breath work, and meditations and yoga. Let's breathe in those hands to heart center, pressing the thumbs up against the heart. Just taking a moment to remember our intention at the beginning of our cleanse. And just being with that for a few seconds. And we can go ahead and place the hands flat on the floor and go ahead and push yourself up. And we're going to get ready for our next pose, which will be a supported child's pose. I find that the very first child's pose that I get into in my practice presents some challenges in my body. I can feel the strain in my knees, and I can feel the resistance of allowing myself to get right into it. And so there are times where I invoke some kramas and assist myself in making the child's pose my rendition of what it needs to be. So if putting your bum on your heels is difficult for you, you can actually take a blanket and put it right underneath your legs. This helps to remove the pressure off the knees and doesn't bring your bum all the way down to your heels, so it's more accessible that way. Your other option is take your knees further apart. When we take our knees further apart, it's a lot easier to bend down and allow room for that belly to come closer to the floor. But because we're doing a supportive child's pose, we're going to take our bolster or your rolled up blankets or your pillows, and we're going to bring them right in between the knees. Now, if I was to come into this like so, that's okay. But that's feeling a bit strained, like it's a bit of a strain for me today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my bolster by rolling my blanket. And I want that to have room for the belly, so I want it just a little bit further away from the belly. And then bringing it right down in order to support my head. Bring your hands out as if you're in child's pose. And go ahead and turn your head either to the right or to the left. And just allow that to be supported. Allow your upper body, your chest, your heart to sink into the blankets or the bolsters or the pillows that you may have. Close your eyes and breathe. Take a couple more breaths here. And we're going to turn our head to the other side. And then slowly and gently walk those palms towards your knees and stack your vertebrae one at a time, bringing the head to be stacked the last. We're going to come into hero pose now, and I like to use a couple of blocks for my hero pose, or even a bolster or a blanket. I like to place them between my legs in order to get my sitting bones on that. It helps me to alleviate the pressure off my knees. So what you want to do is make sure that your feet and your ankles are touching the blocks, and then go ahead and adjust the top block or the you know, if you have one or two depending, just go ahead and adjust them so that your sitting bones are really well connected to the block. We're going to go ahead and do the alternate nostril breathing. And so we want to make sure that the left hand is in the chin mudra. So that's the thumb and the index finger together, and the other three are close together. And that is going to sit on your left thigh, palm facing up. And then we're going to take the right hand and use the ring finger and the thumb to plug the nostrils alternately. And then the index finger and the middle finger can just sit nicely on your forehead. So go ahead and take your transitional breath in. Make sure your spine is nice and tall and erect. Go ahead and plug the right nostril with your thumb and breathe in through the left. And exhale. And then switch. And exhale. Go ahead and continue alternating. And relax. Go ahead and open your eyes. And if you have any blocks underneath you, you can go ahead and remove them now. And we're going to start with some of that fluid motion with our water namaskar, really getting the spine to start to feel fluid. You know, our bodies are made of water, and it's a nice visualization to think about the base of the spine as the beginning of the river and moving all the way up the spine, going through the centers and eventually coming out through the crown of the head. So when you are building up to work on the water namaskar, think about that fluidity in the spine. We tend to be so stiff and erect, and it's nice to just bring in that movement. So let's go ahead and breathe those hands all the way up. And allow those fingers to just float over the body like a waterfall. Exhale, bringing them all the way down. Coming into half plank, lowering yourself down to the floor. And then coming up into cobra. With some movement here. Whether sideways or up and down, whatever works for you. And bring yourself all the way down. And then come back up into hero pose. Floating those hands all the way up the thighs. Bringing the arms up overhead. Allowing that waterfall to flow over you. And coming back down. Finding the fluidity in your cobra. Bringing yourself down. Coming into child's pose. Loading those hands all the way up the thighs. Bringing the arms up. Floating them down. And continue that. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the forehead down to the floor. Bring those arms out. Breathe. Bring those hands back to the side. And go ahead and bring yourself up into downward dog. First dog of the day. Go ahead and bring some movement here. Walk the dog. Breathe. Bring that right toe mound right up beside the left toe mound. Let's take that left toe mound up to the sky. And go ahead and breathe it through the hands. And come into warrior 2. Go ahead and breathe that left hand all the way up. And then exhale that left forearm down to the leg, bringing that right hand all the way up. And continue 2 more times. And then bring both hands down to the mat. Coming into plank. Or if you prefer, you can come into half plank here. Lower yourself down. Come into your cobra. And exhale. And go ahead and come up into downward dog. Bring that left toe mound to the right toe mound. Let's take that leg, right leg all the way up to the sky. Breathe it through. Coming into your warrior 2 on the other side. Inhale that right arm up. Left arm goes down. Exhale that right forearm down to the thigh, bringing that left arm up and over. And then go ahead and do that 2 more times. Bringing in fluidity. Moving like the river. And then out, last time. Bring both hands down to the mat. Take that right foot all the way back. Coming into plank. Lowering yourself down. Coming into cobra. Exhale. Coming into downward dog. And breathe. And then go ahead and walk, step, or jump, bringing your feet between your hands. And forward bend. Breathe in for half lift. Exhale down. And then breathe in, stacking one vertebrae over the other, one at a time, slowly, with the head being the last to come up. And then bringing those hands to heart center. And breathe. And then let's go ahead and breathe those arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward bend, bringing the back heart to the front heart. Go ahead and bend your knees here to come all the way down. And then breathe into half lift. And then exhale that right foot back, and we're going to come into a side stance here. So the knees are bent and stacked over the ankles, and the feet are pointing at a 45-degree angle. We want to make sure that the tailbone is down and slightly out, going towards the back of the body, what I like to call the J-Lo booty. So go ahead and bring those arms into goddess. And then go ahead and start flowing those hands from the left to the right. And then bring those hands all the way back to the left. Let's take that left foot and point it towards the front. Let's come all the way down into low lunge here. And then bringing that left foot back into plank. And down into cobra. Exhale. Coming into downward dog. Taking that right foot all the way up to the sky. Exhaling it through. And let's come into our side angle, turning towards the back of the mat. Take a few minutes to adjust yourself here. Bringing your hands into goddess. Taking a few moments here. Getting the alignment of the stance. And then go ahead and bring the hands to the right and start flowing. And then bringing the hands, turning the right foot down, coming into low lunge, taking the right foot back, bringing yourself into plank, lowering yourself down, and coming into cobra, exhaling. And go ahead and bring yourself into child's pose here. And breathe. Bring your gaze forward. Let's come into downward dog. And then let's walk those feet in between the hands. Breathe in for half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, roll that spine all the way up. Bringing the hands up to the sky. Exhaling them down. Let's go ahead and do a forward bend, breathing in, exhaling all the way down. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring both feet back. Let's take the knees to the floor. And let's adjust ourselves for tabletop here. So making sure that the shoulders are stacked over the wrists. And breathe in, bringing your gaze upwards, tailbones going up. Exhale, round that back up. Bring those ears in between your elbows. Inhale, sink the heart down to the floor. Tailbone comes up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And go ahead and push your weight down onto your heels. Come into child's pose. Go ahead and we're going to lay on our stomachs. So go ahead and make the necessary adjustments on your mat, coming down, laying on your stomach. Now let's go ahead and you want your chin on the floor looking forward, and you want to take both hands and make fists with them, tucking the thumb in between the fingers. And you want to tuck those hands, those fists, underneath your hip bones, so where the hollow is in the leg there. So then go ahead and stretch out that right leg as if somebody's grabbed your foot and is pulling it towards the wall behind you. Your breath should be easy here. You can go ahead and breathe in Ujjayi if you would like. One more breath. And release. We're going to do the left leg now. Picking up that left leg and feeling like somebody's pulling it and stretching it out towards the back. And breathe. And release. Go ahead and remove those fists from underneath you and just lay there with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and bend the right foot and grab either your ankle or your toe. If this is not accessible for you, you can go ahead and use a strap and wrap strap around your ankle or the top of your foot and just hold that for a few moments and breathe. This really helps to stretch the quads. Your gaze can be forward, just sitting on your chin. And release. And just notice the difference between your right side and your left side. And go ahead and bend that left leg, grabbing the left foot with your left hand. And breathe. And release. And just breathe and notice. Now when you're doing this pose, if you find it really difficult to bend the quads in that way, the other thing you can do is you can take those legs wider apart so that your knees are towards the outside of the mat, and then you're grabbing it this way. Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier to access and hold on to the foot. So go ahead and see what works best for you. We're going to go ahead and turn onto our backs now. And let's bring those feet to the floor. And take both of those knees into our hands and do a little bit of rocking back and forth here. And give yourself a nice big hug. And take those feet back onto the floor. Let's bring those arms out into airplane. Let's go ahead and twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center, exhale to the right. Inhale to center, exhale to the left. Inhale to center, and then let's take those knees back into our hands and give ourselves a hug. Let's go ahead and grab onto our ankles, and let's bring the soles of our feet together. Coming into a baby pose. For some of you, your feet might be up here. For others, your feet are down here. You're welcome to take a belt and strap it around the feet if you would like, if that is easier for you. And release those feet to the floor. Let's take them mat width apart, and let's bring both knees together towards the center. Go ahead and take them apart and bring them back into center. And we're going to get ready for Shavasana. So you're welcome to do that in whichever way you would like to. I'm going to give you a couple of options, and you can choose that, or you can go straight onto the floor. Sticking with our mountain brook of earlier at the beginning of our session, take a blanket and have that at the hips. And then go ahead and take another blanket and put that underneath the knees. Go ahead and lay down. Making sure that the shoulders are at the edge of your blanket. You're being supported, and the head falls directly onto the mat if this is what you choose to do for Shavasana. And go ahead and close your eyes and just focus on your breath. Bring your awareness back to your breath. And bring some movement to the toes, the fingers, and the nose. Keeping your eyes closed, go ahead and turn onto your right side. When you're ready, you can come back up to seated. And breathe in those palms of the hands to the heart, your physical heart. And take a moment to bring in gratitude to yourself for taking your body on this journey of detox in a community that is safe, that is supporting, that asks questions, that we're all there doing it together. Amazing group, amazing people. Thank you so much for joining me with your yoga portion. Thank you for joining Purnima and I through this amazing journey of honoring our temples. Namaste.